I'm Sierra and welcome to my kitchen. Long time no see, but today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple spinach pesto. It's more cost effective than basil pesto, and it's also going to be nut free because I know a lot of kids have nut allergies. So I'm going to be making it very simple, the old-fashioned way, which is with a cutting board, because my kiddo absolutely hates blenders. Fine with the vacuum, can't handle the blender. I'm not doing that again. So I'm gonna show you how to make this very quick, easy pesto. You can put it on grilled cheeses, you can put it in pasta. Probably eat it in pasta. But it's yummy, it's easy, and it's cost effective. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a second and go over the ingredients. Our biggest ingredient is gonna be some baby spinach. So you're gonna use about 2 cups of this. And you could also use 2 cups of basil leaves, but I personally don't really like basil that much. I find it really bitter. And plus this is a great way to hide some leafy greens. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath after explaining the spinach because I'm like almost 8 months pregnant now. So bear with me. Okay, and another important ingredient you'll be using is Parmesan cheese. And what's so cool about Parmesan is that it's actually very low in lactose. So if you have a lactose intolerant kid or a kid that's sensitive to lactose, but you still want them to have cheese or still want to introduce cheese, this is a good one to introduce because pretty much the longer a cheese is aged, the less lactose will be in it. So this is a good one. Also use about half a lemon, or I'm just using a few tablespoons of lemon juice. I don't have a lemon today. 2 cloves of garlic, and this is gonna be your main flavor component. I am gonna be seasoning it a little bit with some dried basil. Again, I want a little bit of that flavor, but I don't really like the overpowering taste of basil. A little bit of oregano, some salt and pepper, and of course, extra virgin olive oil, because this is gonna be what emulsifies everything together and makes it into a pesto that everyone knows and loves. Sorry, so out of breath. A typical pesto recipe includes pine nuts, but pine nuts can also be quite expensive too. So you can always use almonds, or you can use cashews too. You go ahead and toast about a 1/4 cup of them and add them to your pesto when you're done, and just blend everything together. So go ahead and chop up my spinach. You can always use a food processor or a blender if you want. Cleaned off my workspace, and I grabbed a big metal spoon because I wanted something a little bit heavier so I can mash it down as I need to. Okay, so let's go ahead, and you're essentially gonna add the rest of your ingredients. So I am using, let's do about a tablespoon of lemon juice. I think that was about a tablespoon. I'll add some salt and a teaspoon to begin with. And I'm gonna add my Parmesan cheese. You're gonna add about half a cup of that. I kind of just eyeball everything because it's all based on taste anyway. And then you're going to use about half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Start with a 1/4 of a cup, about, and just kind of combine everything. And the olive oil really gives it a nice shine. It also makes it a little bit easier to kind of mush everything together, if you will. And of course, if you use a food processor or blender, you'll get a much finer blend on everything. Imagine that. Add about another 1/4 cup or so. That was more than that, but that's okay. Did I crack the bottoms? I I definitely broke the bottom of this bowl. Give me a second. I definitely broke the bottom of this bowl. Whoopsies. Okay, so I would recommend using a glass or metal bowl when you're making this, especially by hand. The flavor is pretty perfect, actually. Add a little bit more salt. And then just season it to taste and how you like it. Boo-doo-doo. Anton, hello! Also, another reason I wasn't using a blender is because he was napping. How was your nap? Was it good? Is it a good nap? I'm gonna make that pesto pasta that you like. I'm gonna put on some shells. How's that sound? For lunch? And he's gonna rip everything down. But anyway, so I added some more salt and pepper. This is what you're left with. So I blended it. I just bit the bullet and blended it. So this is what it looks like after it's been blended. So you can see it looks a lot like pesto now instead of like a chimichurri sauce, which is fine, but I'll scoop the rest of it out. And actually it does help whenever you do decide to blend it to chop it up beforehand. It actually does help. But as you can see, there we go. This is what the pesto should be looking like. And then you can spread it on toast. You can keep it in your fridge for a few weeks even. Just go ahead and add a thin layer of olive oil on top just to keep the top from browning. But here we go, and then I'll show you what I did with it here shortly. Ignore the mess. It was a last minute decision to blend it. So here is my lunch that I am making. So I just did some small shells with some heavy cream, a little bit of cream cheese, and I added my pesto. It's really good for just a simple meal. And sometimes like you just don't want to eat meat. And today I just don't feel like eating meat today. But we have this. If you did want to make this into like a full meal, you can always add some chopped cooked chicken breast, or even like some bacon will be really good with the saltiness. Add some peas to it if you want to. But yeah, this is kind of what I made. Just an easy lunch. And well, I hope you use this pesto recipe, make it your own, and just have fun with it. But bon appetit, I hope you enjoy.